Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Padash. Double honors unto the elder apostles, a great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. So, back at it again, preaching the downfall of this so-called society, this Caucasian society, Edomite society, Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, the fall of NATO, Euro, and what do you call that thing again? USA, America, right? So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 1, titled "The Doom of Egypt." Now, modern day Egypt is America, and the word Egypt is a Greek word going back to the name of a man named Mizraim. So when you read the scriptures and you read the name or the word Egypt, you associate a place. You see pyramids, you see the brown color of the pyramids, you see sand, because words have power, right? Words have actually imaginative power. Basically, when you hear a word, you get an imagination off of that word. You know, just like the word blue. Now you get blue in your head. But if there's 10 people, every person might get a different blue color in their head until you specifically explain to them, like, no, it's a number dash whatever, hash whatever, 00. And then that person would also know and have the same mindset as you concerning that color that you just mentioned, for example, right? Or if you give them an example of, like, this is the color blue that they mean, like lila blue or whatever, or sky blue or water blue. You know, even with water blue you have different types of blue. But anyway, the point is about the words bring out something, and we're supposed to push out that vibration to show you that, nah, this is the truth, Mizraim and stuff like that, and this is basically what they covered the truth with, which is the word Egypt, right? Which is the place of Hamites. Now, Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt, Mizraim. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, the Heavenly Father. But he sends his angels to do that, so he's in the presence of his angels. Exodus chapter 23 explains that. If I'm correct, let me double check that. Exodus 23. Yeah. My eyes is watering, man. That's not a good sign. Wait, let me double check it. Exodus 23 and 30. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way, and to keep thee into the place, to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. So when you're talking to the angel, the presence of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is right there with him. You know? So that's how Moses talked to the angel, mouth to mouth, face to face. But the Most High did talk to him, but he didn't see his face. You know, but in the book of Numbers chapter 12, it is explained that the Most High talked to Moses face to face and mouth to mouth, and without in dark sayings. That's not actually that he actually saw him. That's basically like, you know, he doesn't talk to him in dark sayings and stuff like that, and with riddles, which is dark sayings. Anyway, so Isaiah 19 and 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. So that happened to back in the days, Mizraim, Egypt over there. But nowadays, modern day Egypt is America. starting with that, you have Esau in Europe also trickling down off of that same system. So here's baby Babylon, I would call it. Yeah, but anyway, going on. So what is happening to them? They're failing in the midst of them. So let me read on. And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother. And that's what's happening right now with these Edomites. Now these Edomites are turning against each other, on small sections and stuff like that. But these are the beginning stages of how the northern kingdom of Jacob and the southern kingdom of Jacob started to basically, throw jabs at each other and stuff like that before it turned out into a full-blown war. And they're doing it, So you got basically the kingdom of Amalek versus the kingdom of the rest of Edom. But among the rest of Edom, you have them fighting each other too. I ate some madness, man. I'm telling you, that dough that from the Passover and stuff like that, Esau put something in the dough, man. It's crazy. I'm telling you, man, this food is poisonous as hell, man. Anyway, I'm gonna deal with it, Lord willing, because I had to eat it. Normally, I don't eat dough, flour, and stuff like that. And it's not only just the dough. There's a lot of things that's in the food, water, that mess you up, man. All of a sudden, I'm watering. Anyway, man, let's just go on. Now, everyone against his brother, and everyone's against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So that's what's happening right now with Esau, man. You have all these kingdoms fighting against each other and stuff like that. Bringing that war. You got America fighting against Canada. You got America fighting against Europe. So they're starting that war, but it's trickling down into a snowball effect. So it's starting small, little jabs and stuff like that. Before you know, you got the hooks. You got the tiger knee coming in. You got the rattle kick. You got the somersault. All those things are actually happening, but it's going to happen even more. They're already happening from here to there and stuff like that. But the Most High is going to expand on it. He's going to put into their minds, because the Most High controls the kings of the minds of the kings of the earth. He's going to put it up in their minds to where they're going to actually really get down and boogie. It's going to be a fun sight. Blessed is he that seeth the fall of his enemy. And that's what we're waiting for. You want to see them fight each other. Because I remember them when the KKK members was getting interviewed back in the days. You had Jerry Springer. You had all these other type of things and stuff like that, And then the guy said, like, we don't have to do nothing anymore. The damn niggers is killing each other. And we're just doing nothing. Killing you too at the same time. So I was laughing at that. I was like, God damn, these devils, they're right. But that was in the 90s. Can you imagine how much more they're laughing now? Behind the scenes, orchestrating stuff, putting guns up in the ghettos and stuff like that. But then again, just because the gun is here, doesn't mean you have to pick it and basically blow each other's brains out, So it's on Jake too, because Jake wanted to do it, according to the book of First Ezra, chapter 2. Let me get there real quick. That shows you that Jake was being violent from since back then. Second Ezra, no, First Ezra. Let me see some. First Ezra. Down. Right, First Ezra chapter 2, verse 22. I started 21. But to speak unto our Lord the King, Artaxerxes. You could say Artaxerxes, but yeah, Artaxerxes. Right? So it says here, but speak unto the Lord the King, to the intent if it be thy pleasure, it may be sought out in the books of thy fathers. Because the other nations were telling them like, okay, king, check this out. Your forefathers have written about the Jacob descendants that be living here in this facility, like these Israelites. Their stories written about them in your forefathers' documentaries and stuff like that. So verse 22. And thou shalt find in the chronicles what is written concerning these things, and shalt understand that that city was rebellious, troubling kings and cities. So the Jacob descendants was already rebellious and troubling other kings that was in that region over there. Right? So verse 23. And that the Israelites were rebellious, but it says Jews. That the Jews were rebellious and raised always war therein, for the same which cause even this city was made desolate. So let me read that part again. So First Ezra chapter 2, verse 23. And that the Jews were rebellious and raised always wars therein, for the same which cause even this city was made desolate. So they was made desolate because they was always fighting amongst each other, fighting with the heathen nations, fighting amongst each other. So the Most High laid it down. He flattened them at that time. But he's doing it again. What are they doing? They rebelling amongst each other, fighting amongst each other, rebellion against authorities and stuff like that. Whether it be the authority of the Jacob descendants, or whether it be the authority of Esau, whether it be the authority amongst them own self. For example, like in them gangs and stuff like that, they even screw each other over there. So they have no loyalty whatsoever. Even the Mexican gangs are more structured, than the so-called Negro gangs and stuff like that, which both of them is not good things, but still, I'm giving you an example of a fact. They ain't even listening to their peers, right? So, but those curses are jumping upon Esau right now. Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 7 says so. So, it says, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. That's why there's a lot of stupid advice going on around there in America. It's a lot of dumb advice talking about you could be a girl if you feel like it. And what's this female saying? They say like a man can actually nowadays join into the women's sports and beat the stuffings out of these women. And these chicks actually think that they could fight a man just because he's on estrogen and stuff like that. But hey, that's why the Most High said she was deprived of wisdom, right? Right. So it says here, verse 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. Just like, how you call him? Saul. Just like ex-King Saul, he also went to the witches, basically, because the Most High did this to him. Well, the Most High, he wasn't dealing with him anymore. But the heathen nations are going to have the same, because the Most High is going to break the staff, which is in Isaiah 14, mentioned in Isaiah 14 and 1 and 2. I think 14 and 5. So that staff is the staff of witchcraft. So they will have no more soothsaying. So no more, how you call that thing? No more answers being given unto them and breakdowns and stuff like that of what to do and what not to do and how to do it if you're going to do it and how not to do it if you're not going to do it, So Amos chapter 5 verse... Oh, that's Micah. It's Micah 5. Right, Micah 5 and 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee, and I will destroy thy chariots, and I will cut off the cities of thy land, and throw down all thy strongholds, and I will cut off witchcraft out of thine hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers. So that's what they have right now. Esau got a lot of soothsayers, just like how Jake had soothsayers back in the days. Went to soothsayers and stuff like that, like Saul. Well, that's the same thing that's going to happen with the Edomites, because they're already having it right now, but the Most High is going to slap it out their hand. You know, the Israelites back in the days had the Urim and the Thummim, and then the heathen nations had their glass bowls and all that there, the mirrors, the gemstones, the crystals and stuff like that. Until this day, you got these witches using crystals. But yeah, then again, you know, it's not something that is actually evil. You could do evil with it, just like how the rainbow is nothing evil, but they did evil with it. You know, so it's the same thing with the crystals. It's the same thing with anything upon the planet Earth. Because you could take a lot of herbs and stuff like that and do wicked things with it, but you can take the same herbs and do healing type of stuff with it. You know. But anyway, so going on. Now it says here, Micah 5 and 12, and I will cut off. Well, I already read that. 13. Micah 5:13. Thy graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee, and thou shalt no more worship the work of thy hands. So that's what the Most High is going to slap out of Esau's hands. And yeah, the Heavenly Father is sending out his men to break down the stronghold so that the other Jacob descendants can know not to be worshiping those things, man. To stay away from those things, man. Why? Because those things are going to drag you down into hell. And it's going to be a great philosophies that a lot of the people actually really want to follow. You know? Because a lot of people want to be in that position of, for example, the P. Diddy guy. I'm just using him for an example to show you how people switch. Back in the days, there was kissing his ass trying to live his life. Meanwhile, he was trying to live the Caucasian's life. Why? Because the billionaire parties that he was giving was from them. he got taught their shit. But he was in a position in order to do it also. So everybody knew him as the Diddy guy, the party guy. Meanwhile, he learned that shit from the guy from Sony, Tony Matula. You have other guys that he learned it from also, you know. But hey, that's it, man. I ain't justifying him. I'm telling you like what it is. Meaning, yeah, what about the others? What about the Jeffrey Epstein list? Anybody talking about that? I'm talking about it. They ain't talking about it because they got sponsors and stuff like that. Like they don't want to lose their little record, not record there, but their little deals. I don't give a hootenanny about that though. I could just say it, because it's the truth. But anyway, you gotta also like watch what you say, or else they're gonna flag your videos. Because me, I'm using their platform to expose them. Of course, they wouldn't like me on their platform. You think you would like me on your platform when I'm talking bad about you? You know, that's they flagged my video the other day, right? Well, it's actually 3 months ago, and I refuted it, and they never got back to me like, oh yeah, I said that. They just kept that strike for 3 months. I know why, because I said something. So now they want to give me back. I was like, okay, I got it. You got me, right? So let me leave it at that. And then 3 months later, the thing is going up on my channel. Cool. Don't worry. It's all good, man. That's how it's supposed to go, right? I don't care, man. Anyway, so because when you talk, you know. Anyway, Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4. So all the wizards and familiar spirits, the Most High is going to slap that out your hand, Esau. And then everybody also at the same time is going to start being careful of you, you know. Get away from you. You know, they make it their own tongue to fall upon themselves. Everyone that seeth him shall flee from him. They'll be like, hey, man, I can't be hanging around these Edomites no more. You know, all the business and the merchandise that we're doing and stuff like that, I got to stay away from them. But you have to remember, not everybody is going to have that mentality. Because even in the end, the book of Revelation, where it says that the merchants of the nations were crying for her. So clearly, you're going to have a group of people that don't care who Esau is, what Esau is about, what he's doing. All they care about is trying to make their own money and trying to actually make money with that whore, which is called America in the book of Revelation, chapter 17. So they're all about basically their profit with an F-I-T, fit. You know, like fit as in healthy. Yeah, those type of profits, they get the gains. They're thinking about profit and traffic, like Isaiah chapter 23, marked, which is the traffic that they want, you know, because Esau got that big traffic. He's the modern day Prince of Tyrus, which is he has the ships and stuff like that. He had the ships, and nowadays Esau got the ships. He's the modern day Egyptians too. He got the ships, and then them ships is going to an Suez Canal, and always not always. I mention this often, by the way. The Panama Canal, which is a yearly income of like 9 billion. So now you can understand why they wanted that place, because you have this documentary called The Panama Deception. And that Panama Deception is because they wanted control over that region, because they know it was a strategic place to actually have your ships, because or else you would have to go around pass of the whole continent of South America, sorry, and then you would lose a lot of oil. So they didn't want that. So they wanted to go through the Panama Canal, but they had to secure it first, and through rape, rob, murder, and then after that they secured it, and now they have it. You know, you should look up Panama Canal daily revenue, you know, and see, and also another documentary called Panama Deception. You should see what they actually did, you know, how they got it. And it's it's not documented. There's rumors, but I believe them. There's a word going out talking about that they were shooting people there with lasers, man. Laser beams. And there's also rumors going around concerning Hawaii fires and also the California fires. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's rumors going. You see melted cars. Have you ever seen a fire with melted cars, man? I haven't seen that, man. Well, I've seen it through them. But like an actual regular normal fire, that doesn't exist. But yeah, they got the world on lockdown, man. But even if you tell them, nothing is going to happen. Ain't nobody going to jail, for example. I mean, a lot of people believe that 9/11 was an inside job, right? Okay, so who got punished for it? No, nobody. Of course, because how can you punish a cop? Think about it. They're the ones that set up the law, and then you're trying to bring them to law. Really? Right. So Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord. Well, nowadays that cruel lord is their own rulers. You have to understand. See what happened in 2020 until 2022. They knocked them off of the map. You know how many people died that was trusting in the government? If you go to BitChute, right, or Rumble, and you type in, you know, injuries, and then you put that word in there, right, then you're going to find a lot of videos, hundreds of thousands of videos. Hundreds of thousands of videos, man, even in the millions of people sharing their regret and grief about their loved ones dying, about the regret of trusting the government and stuff like that. And even though a lot of people know not to trust the government, the majority of them they don't know, because they don't care, and they don't care, you know. Because think about it, if the government is lying, government consists of people. It's not just a building where the building basically makes decisions and stuff like that. It's talking about people. So when the Edomites that rule the government, when they actually they're lying to people about a lot of things, right? Do you think they wouldn't be lying about the Bible? Or do you think they wouldn't be lying about who the true Israelites are? I mean, they're lying about flying reindeers, bunnies that laying eggs. I think this is the season. This is the season to be jolly, right? You think they ain't lying about that? How many lies have they been telling? Just type in Google conspiracies that turn out to be truths. Come on, man. Come on, man. They already know what's going down, but still, the majority of the people are just gonna let that slide, because that's how they are. That's how they was created to be, which is a bunch of sheeple. We are the different type of sheep, though. The Jacob descendants are the sheep that are gonna turn into lions and start hunting after being hunted for a few centuries and preyed upon. You know, Ezekiel 34 shows you that we have been preyed upon as lost sheep of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, of the nation of Jacob. So it says here, Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh, the Lord of hosts. And that is happening to the modern day Egyptians. Verse 5, and the water shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up. Now there's a precept on that, which is the book of Jeremiah 51 and 36, which says, let me get that real quick. Jeremiah 51. Man. Man. I feel it's going. It wasn't like that when I walked over here. I wasn't tearing. I don't know. Maybe because the oil is going in my eyes. I don't know. But I think it's leaving. I think my tears is just is washing it away or something. Lord willing. Anyway, I need to watch what I eat. You got a lot of ingredients in the food. This shit is bad. It's bad for you, man. Shouldn't just eat nonsense. But like I said, I had to. You know? But anyway. So, oh yeah, Jeremiah 51:36. Now it says here, therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will plead thy cause and take vengeance for thee, and I will dry up her sea and make her springs dry. That's talking about taking away the prosperity of the heathen nations. For example, Psalms chapter 1, verse 1, it says here, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standing in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, right? But his delight is in the law of Yahweh, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. Here it comes. And he shall be like a tree planted. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters, that bringeth forth his fruit in due season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. So, let me read that part again. Psalms chapter 3, verse 1. 1 verse 3. And he shall be like a tree by the rivers of water. So he's going to be prosperous when he's in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The Most High is not going to make him a dry tree. You're always going to have but let me read on. That bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. So the Most High is going to dry them up, because they're prospering right now. According to the book of Psalms chapter 73, it shows you that the Edomites are prospering, but they're prospering, you know, in all the wickedness that they do. Let me get that real quick, right? So it says here, Psalm 73 and 12, behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. So they are, right? So let me jump down to 17. Until I went into the sanctuary with the Most High, until the Most High opened your mind. He opened, in this case, Asaph's mind, because Asaph said he was envious at the wicked when he saw the prosperity of the foolish. You know, he was envious at the foolish when he saw the prosperity of the wicked. So, what happened? Basically, he got jealous because of the beautiful things that are happening in their life. You know, the house with a white picket fence and all that type of stuff. Their women in check. The women was in check. You know, and he was like, all the good that we're doing. And 2nd Ezra chapter 3 also explains that to you. The book of Ezra. He also said, like, all the good that we're doing, we're not getting rewarded for it. But that's because the Most High has his ways. You know what I'm saying? We understand Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. But he will reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So, and then the prophets are going to spread it out upon the world. And then the other ones are going to listen and then turn into teachers themselves. That's how you get it. Because the Most High be dealing with, you know, a few people and stuff like that on a spiritual level. They just get breakdowns and whatever dreams and stuff like that. And then those are the same ones that will go around upon the planet Earth and teach the rest of the Jacob descendants in a physical form. Because the Most High is not basically going to come down and do that. But once you know, wisdom will test the spirit to see if wisdom should dwell with you. And then the Most High is going to start dwelling with you, man. He's going to start breaking down scriptures with you, man. You know, because the wisdom doesn't dwell in a malicious spirit. Even though I seen guys that have malicious spirits, you know, they make some smart things. But smart and wise are not the same thing. Intelligent and smart are not the same thing. For example, a smart man, he will steal from a kingpin because he can outsmart him. But an intelligent man, he'll not do that shit. A wise man won't do it. Because he's like, nah. So, first of all, he won't even deal with you. Second, he would know like you're gonna have to run for the rest of your life. You know, smart people are buck smart. If they read something, then they can, you know, they can understand it, and they could quote it, cite it. But an intelligent man, he doesn't need to do that. He could just look at it and see it and figure it out of himself. That's intelligence. He'll get it. Sometimes he doesn't even have to see it. You know, these are the men that can actually help people with not only breakdowns, but also with you know, how to be in life, and for example, like stuff like that. What type of people to watch out for, you know? Anyway, or what type of people to hang yourself around, you know? I should always say like you should always watch gossipers, man. Gossipers, guys that you know, they got piercing in their nipples, spiritually. I'm not talking about physically. You know. They talk a lot about other people's business, stuff like that, like continually. Sometimes you need to warn the others, like, hey, yo, watch out for this guy, for example. That's cool, cat. But every time you get the chance, you start getting together, start rubbing your fucking nipples and stuff like that, talking about you, go talk about this man and his wife and his life and stuff like that. You a sissy. You a sissy for talking about a man like him and his wife. What are you doing? You need to get yourself a strap-on dildo and handle yourself, sucker. Don't do that. Don't talk about another man's wife and life. And, you know, that's just sissy stuff. Getting together and gossiping. It's not a good idea. I might be sitting in the metro and stuff like that. You hear this guy talk about this other guy's wife. I'm looking at that thing like, you need lipstick. You know, you need lipstick if you do stuff like that. You know, like a real woman. Anyway, Psalm 73 and 17. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou casted them down into destruction. Because that's what's going to happen. Because they've been prosperous right now for a little small season. But once the Most High really finna get down, they're going to lose everything that they built up. All that he labored for shall he vomit back up. And Esau been laboring for centuries. He been laboring for centuries. He got everything set up. Now, it was the Rothschilds that actually took herbs out of the medical institutions of Esau. Yes, Esau used to believe in medicine. Even when I checked out this court case thing between Dr. Sebi and the United States, the government of the United States, he quoted one of some kind of Greek guy that said, then let your medicine be your food and your food be your medicine. And then basically they was like, yeah, you're right. But it's their own quotes from their own people from back in the days, from the time of the Greeks and stuff like that. So they couldn't kind of fight against it, but they wanted to. You know, they wanted to. Yeah, because they don't believe in their own laws anyway. Because I remember there was a thing going on, and too bad I didn't document it, because back in the days I didn't download videos and stuff like that from YouTube to have the proof, because I wasn't thinking about it. You know. So I had everything locked up in my head, Lord willing. And then I heard Bush say, the Constitution is nothing but the goddamn piece of paper. Make me a dictator and stuff like that. So I'm finna do stuff. Because he wanted to rule perpetually. Which is actually, if you think about it, the switching of a leader is the dumbest move you could actually make as a nation. Think about it. One comes in and does away, and fights his whole fights his whole office term, fighting against the rules or whatever type of things that the one before him set up, and then the one after him is going to want to reverse it again. It's a whole cesspool over there, man. You got to have just one leader, and then he's gonna actually basically make the rules and stuff like that, man. You know, because if you have two leaders, two captains on the ship, some people are gonna listen to him, others are gonna listen to him, and you're gonna have, you know, attempts of mutiny and all that type of stuff. You gonna have assassinations attempts, or actually succeeding. Why? Because you have too many leaders, man. You need to have one. That's why they're bitching and complaining about that guy Putin. But and Kim Jong Un. But they're basically doing what America wants to do, which is America is doing it. But it's like this: if you know, everybody knows this. Well, everybody should know this. Everybody should know that America got puppet leaders in all these so-called third world countries, right? So they're doing this to other people, and yet they ain't doing it to themselves. Are you stupid? You don't think that they have puppet leaders in America, in Europe, set up for you to actually think that you have a free that you could vote? I'm gonna give you an example of a fact. Nobody here wants the rent to raise every June. Every year, they raise the rent with a certain percentage. Do you think the people want it? Don't you think the majority of the people would vote against it? And yet they still do it, which shows you have nothing to say. You just live here. And then they raise the price because they feel like it. Because when they feel like it, then basically they're gonna do it. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna march, complain, and go back to sleep. Especially if they bring out them cops when you protest. Every other day they had a protest. Almost every other day, especially in the summertime. Spring, summertime, that's when they come out with the boards, and then they want to be freed and stuff like that, you know, from the tyranny of the government. But the Most High is going to set up a cruel king over the nation of Esau. Keep on watering, man. It seems like it's going away, but it's not. Anyway, so Isaiah 19 and oh yeah, let me get a precept for that too. It says here, oh yeah, I don't have to, but I'll just do it just to rub it in. Ezekiel 31, no 30. Ezekiel 30, and also Ezekiel 31. So Ezekiel 30 and let me see, 12. Yeah. It says here, I'll start at, so Ezekiel 30 and 10. Thus saith Yahweh the power, I will also make the multitude of Egypt to cease by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. So back in the days, you had the ancient Pharaoh, the ancient king of Mizraim, you know, the ancient king of Egypt. Like I said, Mizraim is a name. It will automatically make you think of the son of Ham. But if I say Egypt, it will automatically make you think of a land. That's the power of words. Because you're going to think about the pyramids. If I say Egypt, you're going to think about the sand, you know, the color of sand and stuff like that, the desert. You're going to think about that. And then if I say Mizraim, you're going to get a Hamite in your head, because that's the power of words, right? So it says here, verse 11. So Ezekiel 30:11. In that day shall messengers go forth from him. Let me read it again. In that day shall messengers go forth from me in ships to make the careless Ethiopians afraid, the careless Cushites, right? Going on. And great pain shall come upon them, as in the day of Mizraim, Egypt. For lo, it cometh. So the Most High is going to destroy the Cushites too, right? Verse 10. Thus saith Yahweh the power, I will also make the multitude of Egypt to cease by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. He and his people with him, the terrible of the nations. The terrible of the nations, that was talking about the Nebuchadnezzar and his men, which are the Chaldeans. They was together, and they went out and straight up butchered everybody that came in their path. If you read the book of 1 Ezra, chapter 1, you will see in the Apocrypha, you will see what they did to the Israelites. The Lord judged them after that, yes. He judged Nebuchadnezzar after that, yes. But still, he used him to basically butcher the Israelites and also the other heathen nations, because he pawned them too. He sold them. You know, when you have something on a pawn level, you're pawning them, like selling them. That's what Nebuchadnezzar did to the heathen nations. He took them captives, and yeah. And yep. So going on. Now it says here, 12. Now Ezekiel 30 and 12. And I will make rivers dry and sell the land into the hand of the wicked, and I will make the land waste and all that is therein by the hand of strangers. I Yahweh have spoken it. So That's what the Most High did with the ancient Egypt. And nowadays, the Most High is going to do it again with the modern day Egypt, which is America. And he's going to actually start that war between Russia and America, between Canada and America, between Europe and America, between Afghanistan and America, between the other lands of Elam and America. So they're going to do that. Turkey also, Turkey, they dared to defy America. All of a sudden, an earthquake popped up over there. Because they was like, hey man, you're supposed to be on our side. They started to shake. That shake, they got the shaky dicks. The shaky dicky. Man. No, what the hell's going on? Wait, let me go on. Wait. It's crazy. Crazy, shit's crazy. Right, so going on. No, it says here. Oh yeah. Read a precept and then I'm going on concerning the dry waters. That it's talking about that the Most High is basically going to take the waters of Egypt. Jeremiah chapter 2 is talking about the same thing also. I was just talking about Turkey. Democracy under arrest. Democracy under arrest. They protested because of the stuff that's happening in Turkey. Right. Let me get this one real quick. So it says Ezekiel 31 and 12. It says here. I started 10. So Ezekiel 31, and 10. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh the power, because thou hast lifted up thyself in height, because they're proud, right? They think they're better than everybody else, right? Because thou hast lifted up thyself in height, and had shot up his top among the thick bows, just like in the book of Daniel chapter 4, where it speaks about Nebuchadnezzar was a bow, he was a tree, taller than everybody else and stuff like that, and it was explained there what it meant, that his bows reaches onto the ends of the earth, because Nebuchadnezzar, his kingdom reached up on the at that time the known earth, he covered it, right? Going on, and it says here, and he had shot up his top among the thick bows, and his heart is lifted up in his height. I have therefore delivered him into the hand of the mighty one of the heathen. He shall surely deal with him. I have driven him out for his wickedness. He's driven out for his wickedness, man. And this is a precept. I know Ezekiel 31 is talking about other things also, but I'm using this as a precept example. Verse 12. And strangers, the terrible of nations, has cut him off. That's going to happen to the modern day king of Babylon, the modern day Pharaoh also, which is Esau, right? So it says here, the terrible of the nations have cut him off and have left him upon the mountains and all the valleys. His branches are fallen. In the book of Daniel chapter 4, it speaks about the branches. Well, let me try and get that. Wait, let me finish this, then I get that. So it says here, upon the mountains and in all the valleys, his branches are fallen, and his bows are broken by all the rivers of the land. Right? And the rivers is talking about the other people. For example, Jeremiah chapter 2 speaks about Jacob is drinking the water. Israel is drinking the waters of Sihor of Egypt. And they're also drinking the waters of Assyria, which is Euphrates. Those are the waters of Assyria. But it's talking about, just like how the Most High said, you have forsaken me, the fountain of living water. And then Yahushua came and brought that same living water unto the Jacob descendants. So it's talking about the philosophers. So by all the rivers of the land and all the people of the earth are gone down from his shadow and have left him. So that is what's going to happen to Esau. All the people are going to just get away from the shadow of modern day Egypt, which is Esau, because they're going to find out like, hey, it's not a good idea to be hanging around him. Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 13. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns at that can hold no water. So I'm going to jump down to the book of the verse 18. So Jeremiah 2:18. So it says, and Yeah, yeah. And now what is thou to do in the way of Egypt to drink the waters of Shihor? Or what is thou to do in the way of Assyria to drink the waters of the river? Which basically is their philosophies. Because the Jacob descendants don't want to have that living water anymore from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But the Lord Yahushai is bringing it to you right now. You know? To the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. He's bringing it to us right now. Right? And his men is going out there bringing it. Whether they listen, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? The word soldier means solitary. So if you know how to actually handle yourself being alone, you're kind of very strong actually if you think about it. You know? You're very strong. A eunuch-minded man, yeah, he has love because the scriptures does say like it is the lust of a eunuch to deflower a virgin. So that's not the part. The part is the fact that he's doing it. That should show you like this guy has a different mind. A person that loves to be alone has a different mind. You know, he can be around people and stuff like that. That's not the thing. The thing is that he you know, if you put him in solitary, you're not getting far. You're not gonna get that far. It's fucked up being in solitary against your will. But if you already train yourself to be not trained, if you already are like that, you know, you're not gonna have a real big problem. The days are gonna fly by. You're gonna ask yourself like, shit, I thought it was tomorrow already. Cause you ain't counting, you ain't waiting. So it's all up in there. Wait, I just wandering again. Right, so going to the book of Daniel 4. Yeah, I read this out. I'm gonna do another video about that, but that's another story. I'm gonna leave that. So Daniel chapter 4 verse. Daniel 4 and what? Oh yeah. So it says here, Daniel 4 and 22. It says, wait. I'll start at 20. So Daniel 4 and 20. The tree that thou sawest, which grew and was strong, whose height reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to all the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all, under which the beast of the field dwelt, and upon whose branches the fowl of the heaven had their habitation. This is that dream that Nebuchadnezzar had. So verse 22, it is you, king, that are grown and become strong. So those branches and the boughs and stuff like that, if you read the chapter, then you will understand what it was talking about then. So it says here, that are grown strong, for great is thy for thy greatness is grown and reacheth unto heaven, and thy dominion to the end of the earth. So what was that talking about? It was talking about his branches. It was talking about his boughs and all that type of stuff, you know. So I'll get the vision. So the book of Daniel chapter 4 verse 10. Thus were the visions of mine head in my bed. I saw, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. He was that tree. Nebuchadnezzar was that tree. His kingdom was that tree, right? Verse 11. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, because he had all the power in the world at that time. And the sight thereof to the ends of all the earth. Everybody up on the planet Earth knew about Nebuchadnezzar, how great of a king he was, and his reach, his control, his dominion reached upon to the end of the earth. You know, because people honored him like that. They respected him, they feared him, and they know he was the terrible one. Because he came, because his head was the kingdom of his thing was of gold, and then came silver, and then bronze, and then iron, if I'm correct. And then iron and clay, which is where we are in right now. So verse 12, the leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, because all the heathen nations love to come to modern day Babylon right now. Why? Because all the money is here. Right? You got the Jacob descendants. living in the midst of Esau, trying to get a piece of the so-called pie. But that pie is actually something from their own lands. The mineral resources and stuff like that, the spices, doesn't come from Europe. It comes from all the other countries. South America, Africa, Asia. All the spices here come from those lands. There are no spices here. Vietnam, Indonesia, all these countries have those things. Then you could ask yourself, like, how come they ain't rich? That's because Esau threatening them. If they don't do it, all of a sudden a coup popped up, because the puppet leader wants to actually not allow Esau to come in the land and farm the land, farm the mineral resources and stuff like that. So they're gonna fight, and they're gonna win, because the Most High said, "I will deliver them into your hand." He's now the terrible one. He's the terrible one. He's in the stead of Babylon the Great, but the terrible one eventually got his ass knocked off of his seat. You know, because the Most High sent up somebody else to come and butcher him. And that's the same thing that's going to happen with modern day Esau. He's going to get knocked off of his seat. And a lot of people going to laugh, but a lot of people going to cry too, because they're going to be thinking like, oh shit, no more money, no more status. Because a lot of these people out here, the only thing that keeps them afloat is the money. A lot of dudes can't get women, because when they get their money, they can get the women. A lot of dudes want to have the money to get the women. But a lot of dudes can't talk, so they can't get women all for themselves. They just think if they sit around, then the girl's gonna start thumping on you. Some girls do it. Don't wait for it. If you do, you're gonna turn gray. Not just your hair, your body too, your skin color. You're gonna die and turn gray. Your intestines are gonna dry up. You get hard and turn into a mummy. Now you can call yourself a pharaoh. So it says, but you're not. You're not a Hamite. But if you wait for them females, prepare yourself for death. You know that meme where you see somebody just waiting on a couch on a park bench, skeletons, and that's gonna be you. But then again, not everyone goes through that. Some guys, girls be throwing themselves at them whether they have money or not. You know, so that's the truth too. Not true. I mean, that's another side of the truth, which is the truth. Amen. Anyway, so oh yeah, Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah, Daniel chapter 4 verse 12. The leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, because he was very prosperous, and all the things is what he gathered from the heathen nations. He took it by force, and it was meat for all, and the beast of the field had shadow under it. Don't you see that the heathen nations come to America and come to Europe and stuff like that, and have their, how you call that thing? They have their little glory here, but think about it. Their countries is full of mineral resources, spices. Because if you go to the stores, you have spices from Asia, China, Japan. Well, not Japan too much. I haven't seen a lot. But China, you got Vietnam, you got Indonesia, you got Morocco, you got Moroccan spices, you got Thailand spices, you know, stuff like that. And you ask yourself, like, how the hell is those spices over here, for example, like what, $5 or something, €5, I mean, stuff like that. Then you get a percentage or a few grams or something like that. Not a few, but I mean, like sometimes 100 grams and stuff like that. But when you go to their countries, it's like not even €1, not even €1. And even off of that, they still live. So how much does it cost? It doesn't even cost like what, 10 cents, less than 10 cents for Europe and America to have these things. So therefore, how come these nations ain't rich? Esau is not going to do that. Plus, the Most High is not going to allow that. He's the one that is here to be the terrible of the nations, and then therefore, everybody is going to suffer, because the Most High said in the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2, it says, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, but when the righteous bear rule, the people rejoice. If everybody was happy right now, we would be in trouble, because they would be the righteous and we would be the bad guy. So it's good that this is happening, because this is one of the ways you can see that they're not the good guy, because they're making people suffer on purpose, even though they can actually, they have the money to basically feed everybody upon the planet Earth. But are they going to do it? Because if everybody has money, then they can't show off no more. Then it's worthless, right? Just like how you have, for example, diamonds is worthless. Diamonds is a girl's best friend. and you can make diamonds. You can't make gold. Gold grows in the ground. Right? It grows in the cracks of the stones. It grows under in the caves and stuff like that, under trees and all that. In trees, diamonds you can make it. So it's actually not that worth compared to gold. That's why I remember this movie called Hudson Hawk with the guy from Die Hard, Bruce Willis. I remember his name. I remember this movie that in the movie he was trying to make gold. They said they've been trying to make gold, man. That is not just something that they put in the movie as if they never tried it. Esau is trying stuff, man. He's trying to make gold. That's why he got cartoons of the golden goose, laying the golden egg and stuff like that, because that's what he wants. He wants it. He wants that. He wants them riches. Because with riches, you could do a lot of things. You could do a lot of things. Why? Because they can manipulate people. That's why a lot of people that are rich, they get tempted but to sleep with another man's wife. Why? Because she will throw herself at you. Especially if she is an uncontrolling beast of herself. She will throw herself at you. And you got the money, you can take her on trips. You can do all these things and stuff like that. That's what money does. It opens up the floodgate to bring in more wickedness. It's a possibility. Just because you have money doesn't mean you're doing wicked stuff with it. So that's also something to be said. Money is a defense. And if you know what to do with it, you can actually do good. But Esau has more than his heart could desire. And still he wants more. He just wants to take it from you. He has nothing else to do. You see, these billionaires, they got nothing else to do. They dress up in furries and stuff like that and have orgies and all that kind of crazy stuff. That's what they do. And then they invite these people to come to their party. And some people be like, oh, hell no. You never hear from them again. Not in the media, nothing. But they making records on the side and all that there. They're just not getting pushed. And they're going to actively block you too. Like, no, he knows about our parties. Let's block him. He going to talk. And if you talk too much, you end up smoked and snuffed. Just like how you had the bodyguard of P. Diddy. It was only a month. No, not P. Diddy. The bodyguard of Beyonce. Only a month after he was dead, then people knew about that he was dead. And the things that he was saying before he died, they made Jay-Z and Beyonce look bad. Right, so going back to where I was. Well, I gotta duct tape that one. Not duct tape, I mean just normal tape. Damn it. Right, let me go on. No, it says here. Oh yeah. Right, the Nebuchadnezzar thing. Right, so it's basically it's talking about that. So going on. Isaiah 19 and 6. And they shall turn the rivers away, and the brooks of defense shall be emptied and dried up. The reed shall flag. The reeds and flags shall wither. What is flags? Flags is linen. The book of Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. There's a precept for Isaiah 19 and 6. So, yeah. Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. It says, wisdom is a defense, right? If you know stuff, you can defend yourself, right? And money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. And what life it is talking about? The life of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That water that Yahweh Shai came and brought in the name of his father Yahweh. Right? Yahweh Shai said in the book of John 5:26 and also 30, basically he can do nothing without his father's consent. So whatever he does, the father allowed him. Right, so going on. Isaiah 19 and 8. The fishes also shall mourn because they ain't getting no fish no more. No more prosperity, no more food, no more nutrients. You're going to wither away, get skinny and die. That's what happens when you ain't got no food. So it says here, the fishes also shall mourn, and they that cast angles into the brooks, they're also going to mourn, shall lament. And they shall spread nets upon the waters, And they that spread nets upon the water shall languish, because they're gonna degrade. They're not gonna be prosperous anymore. And that's what's happening now with Esau. And you have to understand, these are the things that happened to the Jacob descendants. Before, we were very powerful, but then we started to fall, and now we are where we are right now, which is basically at the bottom, right, of the barrel. Right, so it says here, verse 9, moreover, they that work in fine flax, which is linen, and they that weave networks shall be confounded. All the ones that are actually doing stuff, you know what I'm saying, bringing income and all that there. Because the ones that work fine linen, what are you doing it for? Linen is very expensive. It's like silk and stuff like that, right? Linen stuff is almost like silk. It's like silk. But anyway, so what does that mean? It means royalty. So the royalties are going to fall. Because they that have linen clothing live in king's houses. You got some soft clothing, you don't look rough at all. You know, you look effeminate. Well, nowadays, they look effeminate with the soft-ass clothing and stuff like that. But their pockets is fat. So people gonna look past that. But back in the days when it was warrior time, the princes knew how to fight. Damn it. The princes knew how to fight. It was an insult for a prince not to know the way of the sword or the way of the spear. You know? But nowadays, the princes nowadays, they can't even lift up like something heavy. And if they do, they break their back. Just like how you have them K-pop stars and stuff like that. You have to understand that the Asiatic people used to be ruthless. They're still cruel, but they used to be ruthless back in the days. But nowadays, when you see them, they be looking like, you know, they got their hair dyed and all that type of stuff. They're not looking like the ancient, you know, samurai warrior men that they used to be. So that's gonna happen to Esau too. He already turning into a girl. He's fighting so hard that they got law set up that if you call him a man, he gonna do you something, man. With the law, grievous laws that they decree. So it says here, verse 10, and they shall be broken in the purpose thereof. All that make sluckus and pounds for fish. What's slucks? Slucks is wages, money. All that make money with selling fish. Basically prosperity, nutrients, and all that type of stuff. The Most High is going to break it up. 11. Surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise counselor of Pharaoh is become brutish. Their counselors are stupid, man. They're making all these crazy type of mistakes. Look at the media little circus thing was happening. For example, the thing with what's his name again? Zelensky guy and the Trumpy, right? What's happening there? Did you see that foolishness in front of the camera? That's their counsel. That's their mindset, like a brute beast. But he's supposed to be in charge of millions of people. Everybody saw that. It's not filthy. Everybody saw that. There's like something on the pocket. Everybody saw that conversation that they had over there was laughing. I know I was laughing. You know, but you saw the comment board, man. Everybody was laughing at this guy. And this is supposed to be the leader. He getting treated like a child. You know? Trump is really putting it down on him. Like, man, you ain't ruling nothing. You have nothing to say. You ain't in a position to be speaking right now. Made him look real stupid. And then he went home and then he folded. Like a cartoon box or something. Cardboard box. He folded. And then he came out and he said, I apologize for the things that I did. Man, you got worked on, you know? But yeah, their counsel is just horrible. Their counsel among each other, the counsel that they have toward their people, that they claim that they lead, you know? Because the guy even said, why don't you have a suit on? I was laughing. You know, he coming up in his regular civilian clothing, talking about only when my people are now basically when the land is free of war, then I will wear a suit. I was laughing. That has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with you wearing a suit or not in the Oval Office. So what are you talking about, man? Okay, but hey, that's their thing. I would never wear a suit, so because I'm a Jacob descendant, I don't do that nonsense. So I'd rather have it's like Nate Dogg and Pharaoh 7 days the same clothes. I got clothing, man, but I wash it. Well, I don't stink. So Isaiah chapter 19 verse, the rest of 11. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of the ancient kings. Verse 12. Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, had purposed upon Egypt. So the Most High sent his men to come and tell the Egyptians that they're going to get destroyed. Like the modern day Egyptians saw the Edomites. Modern day Babylonians saw the Edomites. The modern day Assyrians saw the Edomites. But when you read the scriptures, you will know in what time period you need to put it in. Because eventually the big war is going to come between Russia and America, America and Europe, Iran and Europe. And of course, Israel is going to be joint forces in them, and they're all going to be blown to smithereens with their own nuclear bombs, which is going to be a funny day. Some going to be sad because especially the merchants of the world, and the others are going to be ecstatic with joy. Just like how you have in Syria. You had some people in Syria were actually happy that the Syrian people, they were happy that Assad fell, but you had other people in Syria, they were not happy that Assad fell. Same thing was going to happen with Esau in America. You're going to have people that are going to be happy that it fell, and then you're going to have people that be sad that it fell. Just like among the Jacob descendants, you had basically every nation on the planet Earth was happy when we fell. Lamentation chapter 2. First Ezra chapter 2. They was happy when we fell. And then you have a few that was not happy when we fell. Like the Kenites in the book of Numbers 24. They was not happy. Because that meant that if we fell, they fell. The Gideonites, they were not happy. Because when we fell, they fell. Because now the other Amorites came and butchered them. But we were a defense unto them. So that's that part. So now let me go on. Isaiah chapter 19 verse 13. The princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Nob are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, and they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. And even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. The ones that kept them stable. The ones that kept them stable are going to be destroyed also. Right. So going on. No, it says right. And verse 13, Isaiah 14. Yahweh had mingled the perverse spirit in the midst thereof. That's why that spirit that they have right now is totally backwards, man. They really think like this is going to be it, this is it, this is the way toward the future. This is not the way toward the future. Because what's going to happen right now is the same thing that happened in China. What happened over there? This. All the people, the older people, started to die off, and Italy has it too. You have certain places in Italy where the population can never grow anymore because the people that live there are older people, and then the younger generation, they left from there, and then what happens? You have no more children running around. Because I went there, and I didn't see children running around because they're too old to have children. So that whole town, that whole place over there, it was basically a lot of old people. You have a few young ones, 20 years and stuff like that. But I didn't see children. And I was there for like a week or something like that. In that region where I was, I didn't see children. Why? The population is too old to get children. So if they die off, that city is going to be a ghost city. Because they can't make any more children. Well, that's the same thing that happened in China. What they did was they murdered all the daughters. That's what they did. By committing abortions and stuff like that. And then now the men are outnumbering the women. So certain cities, certain villages, I should say, they ain't got no more children. They can't. So they have to import people from another place in order for them to get there. And I remember something like that was happening in Japan. to wherewith they was actually importing people from South America. Let me double check that. Japan was importing people from South America and giving them free citizenship. From it was getting free citizenship. I can't find it. If I find it, I'm gonna put the link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. Because there's a documentary going on that you have South Americans living in Japan, and the government brought them there, and they speak in Spanish. Wait, let me. These are actually literally Israel. Like, you have a few of them were actually Japanese people that went over there. But wait, let me see. Damn it, where is it again? So you have this over here. It says here, Japan. You can pause the video if you want. Japan imports South Africa was Japan imports from South Africa. No, wait. No, these are not people. Where's the other one? Damn it. Oh, I typed in South Africa. Sorry. America. South America. Oh, shit. I kept on getting stuff like, huh? Got it. Now, this is the article. This is the article. Now the article says here. It says here, Japan import with Latin America and no, that's not it. Damn. Japanese Brazilians. Wait. Okay, got it, man. Damn. Now, this is the article, right? It says here, it says, Japanese Brazilians, the story of their return to Japan. But I'll put the link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. So what are they doing? Now you have a few Israelites in the midst of them, because of course they didn't just stay there and not make children with the locals. So they had them there. And now the lands in Japan is kind of dwindling and stuff like that. So the population is kind of dwindling to a certain degree. And then they want to import those people from Brazil back into Japan. And they get citizenship. And if you go to that city, they have billboards and stuff like that. You know, these things, you know, boards and stuff. Written in Latin, man. And also Japanese. Like I said, I'm gonna put the link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself, right? If you have the time. But that's what they're doing. They import the people because, like I just gave the example, if you have a city, because I had to think about it too. Like, look, listen. Let's say you have a village, right? A little small town of like 1,000 people, maybe 10,000. I don't know. Just an example. 1,000 people, right? And like on let me see, on 8,000 of the 10,000 people are older people and they're about to die. They can't make kids anymore. They're above 50 and above 60 and all that type of stuff, right? The other 2,000, and they don't even want to live there because it's boring to them. Because people, especially youths, they seek fun things. They want to go to the cities. They don't want to live in the villages anymore. So they start leaving there, and then before you know it, you have a ghost town because there are no new children being born over there. So they're gonna have to start importing people and making it like cheap in order for them to want to go over there to that boring place that's already dying physically and spiritually. So that's what they're doing in Japan, because a lot of people over there don't want to make kids because the Japanese people are making, the government of the Japanese people are making it harder for them to actually make children. Man, I seen houses over there that it's like 4,000 euros a month, 3,000 euros a month. It looked like a jail cell, man, like small as hell, and you can't really move and stuff like that. They still charge you like 4,000, 1,000, 2,000, crazy stuff. And yeah, you can Google, you can YouTube all this to show you that if you're tall over there, you're gonna have a problem. You're gonna have a problem because the place is not built for you; it's built for them. Right? So going on, Isaiah chapter 19, verse again. But yeah, so that's the population thing that they have going on. But it's not as bad as they make it seem, because there's always people on the planet that are willing to make children. So they're lying to you when they say some population is dying off. Esau is the only one that's going to be exterminated. There is no end of the people. There is no end of the earth. There is no end of nations. There will be an end of one nation, the nation of Esau. Well, that don't look like it felt good, right? So it says Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14. Yahweh had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Right, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Staggereth in his vomit, yeah. Neither shall there be any more work for Egypt. So the jobs are going to dwindle. Look, it's not happening right now on a large scale, but you bet you're behind. You see a lot of them protesting and stuff like that, talking about, hey man, we ain't getting no jobs. And for example, here in the Netherlands, you have a lot of these Edomite villages, places and stuff like that, where there used to be only Edomites. They're complaining that the people from the Syria people and stuff like that, and from other countries that are coming here and taking their jobs. So they're crying and bitching and complaining. I ain't got no problem with that. I have no problem with that whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Let them come. You have to understand, this is the same way that Esau went over there to Australia, to America, to South Africa, and did the same thing. So now, when the Syrian people or the other people from, which is Aram, or the other people from the other nations and stuff like that, the countries that they help bomb, when they come here and they get government support and government aids, it's happening all over the world, not just in America. You have in England, Ireland, they're being helped. They get like 3,000 euros a month just for free. And they're living in hotels and stuff like that, So I ain't got no problem with that, man. I just recently start seeing Cushites here. Like every time that I pass by, I see Cushites. I'll be like, hey, what? With the Muslim kufi on and stuff like that. They was never there. Like in the neighborhood where I'm at, they was never there. Now I see them basically moving in. It's not in my neighborhood specifically, but it's in the region where I come at. When I do my thing at. They're there now. They're being brought in. They can't speak Dutch. They can't speak English neither. But their kids being, they're being trained in the Dutch and stuff like that. So they're talking. They could understand English too, them kids, because they're that new generation that is being brought up here. I don't think they're born here, because I see them like 6-year-olds, 4-year-olds and stuff like that. I don't think they're born. I see some babies, so some of them are born here. But Esau is bringing them in. If you watch the documentary called "You Are Amalek," you will see who's bringing them in. It's literally the kingdom of Amalek versus the kingdom of Edom. It's Amalek snuffing them out. putting them in the midst. Just like how you had the book of Judges chapter 2 and Judges chapter 3, where the Most High was testing the Israelites by making them live in the midst of the Philistines and the Canaanites to see whether they would actually get their wives for their their daughters for their daughters and for themselves. They was testing them. Well, the Most High is doing the same thing with the Edomites now. He's letting the heathen nations come live in the midst of them, and their daughters, their daughters will start jumping ship like, I don't want to be with you. Then they go to the heathen nations, man, with the other heathen nations, you know, or whether they go to Jake, whether they go to Ishmael or whatever, you know, Cushites that be coming in, Aram, and all that type of stuff, you know. So the Most High is doing the same thing. Let me read that for you real quick. So in the book of Judges, right, chapter 3, verse 1. So it says here, Judges 3 and 1. Where it says, Judges 3:1. Now these are the nations which Yahweh left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan. And why did he do that? He's going to explain. Only that the generation of the children of Israel might know to teach them war. At the least, such as before knew nothing thereof. So why did the Most High do it? He wanted to test them out to see if they really was going to go to war, or if they would follow after the ways of their forefathers, which is, let me read that too, which is in the book of Judges chapter 2, because it shows you that. And this is exactly what's happening to Esau right now. All the nations are being brought in. Man, you have like literally Edomite villages. Here in the Netherlands, of course, is Europe. You have like Edomite villages full of Edomites. Yeah, what's up, man? What's up? You have like one Jake or one Elam or something like that, you know, in that whole town. And then now all of a sudden you have a flood of these other nations like Cush and you know, there's people from Syria and stuff like that, Aram. You know, they come here and stuff like that. Other people too. You know, the other Hamites and stuff like that, they come. And you see them walking around with Edomite girls. Because they can't hold themselves. They can't keep themselves from them. Same thing that happened to the Jacob descendants. So it says here, Judges 2:22. 21. I will also not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died, that through them I might prove Israel, whether they will keep the way of Yahweh to walk therein, as their fathers did keep it, or not. So he's testing them. Verse 23. Therefore Yahweh left those nations without driving them out hastily, neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua. So what's happening right now? The heathen nations is coming in the midst of the Edomites, and what are they doing? The Most High is not delivering them into their hands, you know, because they're trying to fight them, but they can't, because their government is also helping them. So when you have a group of Edomites that are against these people trying to come up in their land, the so-called take their jobs, you have the government stepping in and blocking them, like, man, you ain't fighting nothing. You're gonna take this L, you know. We're going to integrate them, and we're going to make them mingle with you. And after that, you can't do nothing about it. And they got to back down, because, or else they're going to get, you know, they're going to get in trouble. And they don't want that. So, that's exactly Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7, which is the curses is jumping upon them, which is a beautiful thing, you know, because you can see it right in front of you, which is great. So it says here, Isaiah 19 and 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. So it doesn't matter what they do. They're not gonna have an how you call that thing? They're not gonna have prosperity incomes anymore. You know, the jobs is leaving them. Their women are leaving them as a whole, in big groups. And most of the time, the feminists, they don't hate me, they hate them. A feminist really doesn't hate so-called black men. A black female feminist, she hates us. Like the white chick, they don't hate you. They're not fighting against you. They're fighting against their own men. And they're fighting for you sometimes. It's the black chick that thinks shit like, Oh, you think you own me because I belong to your race? I don't want you. Lord willing, I got that sword. Just waiting. The sword of home, like from Thundercats. I got that one waiting for you. So, what's the saying again? Sword of woman, give me sight beyond sight. I'll see you then. Right? I'm not lying though, I'm just borrowing the sword so I can see stuff. So anyway, I'll make my own little fantasy world. But anyway, so it says here, it's just a cartoon, man. Just a cartoon. Don't worry too much about it. Right, so it says here, Isaiah chapter 19, verse 16. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and in fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. So modern day Egypt is going to be in a coward mode, man. They're going to turn into women. They're going to turn into women. And they're already turning into women in the physical form. And they're chopping their little thing off, you know. They're doing things and stuff like that, which is highly suspect. Hey, but there you have it, man. The spirit is jumping up upon them, you know. You gotta have a really weird spirit if you actually thinking of stuff like that. You know, that you're a chick. Anyway, so it says here verse 17, and the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Every one that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself. So they're just gonna mention the Jacob descendants and they're gonna be afraid of themselves. It's like Jason is nearby and they don't want to make a peep, or else they're gonna get got. Alright? So it says, because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he that had determined against it. In that day shall 5 cities of the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan. So what is our language? Our language that we were speaking is the language of the land of Canaan. That's the language that we spoke. When Abraham came to when Abraham came to the land of Canaan, he was talking Aram, but he understood them too. You know, because you had Laban. Laban was talking the language of Aram. Rebecca too. She could understood it. She could understand it. They born there, and also Rachel, because Rachel named Benjamin Benoni. It's actually Aram language. Call them that, and then Jacob said call it Benjamin, which is Banyamya. There's a lot of people on the street. It's packed. I could just remember like 3 years ago, here was empty, because everybody was chicken shit in fear. They were scared. From 2020 to 2022, here was empty. Wasn't really a lot of people there, but now it's like decked out. You know? So everybody all over the place. So yeah. Now going on, though, it says here. 18. In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan and swear to Yahweh, the Lord of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction. So what's going to happen? You're going to have this happening. In the land of Egypt, like the land of Mizraim, the land of the modern day land of Egypt is America. You're going to have, let's say America is like, 10 big, whatever, just example. I know it's not a number. I know it's not so great measure. But let's say it's big as this, right? Let's say it's big as this. This is the whole land of America, right? Then you're going to have in the midst of the land of America, you're going to have certain areas in that land that are going to have the Jacob descendants that scream Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because we're going to talk the language that we had in Canaan, which is the language of what we call Paleo-Hebrew and stuff like that. But it's the language that we had back in those days, right? And we're going to speak it. We're going to call upon the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in that language that we had back then, the language that Jacob was talking, compared to the language of Aram, which was from Abraham and Laban and Rachel and Rebecca, you know? Right, so verse 19, in that day shall there be an altar to Yahweh in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord. And what pillar is that? What altar is that? Sorry, that's talking about give your life as a living sacrifice. That's the altar. So every time you see a Jacob descendant standing on the planet Earth, teaching in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that's the altar. What was it again? Living. You're gonna have a living sacrifice of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's Romans chapter 12. Yeah, I thought so. Romans 12 and 1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High Yahweh, that ye present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. So when you do a sacrifice back in the days, I'm not talking about now. The animal sacrifices back in the days, when they did that, what did they do? What did they need? They needed an altar. So now, basically, this is the altar. Everywhere you have a Jacob descendant that's preaching Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, there is the altar. There is the camp. There is the tabernacle. Lord willing it is. Let's just say that. Because the tabernacle is a tent. And the tent, which is where the sanctuary is. But in the sanctuary, in the tent, you have the Ark of the Covenant. And where the Lord is, where two or three men are gathered together, in my name, there I be in the midst of them. You know? But just like Jeremiah said, or was it Elijah? I forgot which one. He said, Lord, I'm alone. And then the Most High said, hey man, what you said? Don't worry about that. I got 7,000 men that will not bow the knee to Baal. So, there's always going to be men. Right. But anyway, so it says here, it shows you that living sacrifice, that altar, is where you go to pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And then you do that, right? You fix that up. You give up your living sacrifice at the altar, and there you will have the Jacob descendants that are doing their things and stuff like that, right? Anyway, so let me go on. And Isaiah chapter 19, verse 20. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, in the land of Egypt. And it is a sign and a witness. When they see it, terrible fear shall come upon them. They're going to be stricken with fear. And who's going to fear? Only the elite of Esau. The rest of the people are going to have no idea what's going on. Let me give you an example of the book of Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Looking at the time. It's all good. I can finish this at home, but it's all good. I'll do until verse what, 22? Yeah, 22. What's up, yo? Right, and I'm gonna do the rest in a sit down, cause cause then I could get the precepts real good. Because that one gonna need a lot of explanation. I can do it here too, but it's all good. So it says here, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no accounts of his labor. Because all the work that we were doing, they made no account of it. Talking about Jake is lazy and stuff like that. Hell no. We've been doing work for over 400 years, and still they call us lazy. Same thing with the Mexicanos and stuff like that. They say the same thing about them. Meanwhile, they're harder workers than you think. You know? Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 2. So it says here, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, which is by the word. Hosea chapter 1 verse 6. The Most High is not going to save us with the fancy words, by the way, but with the power of horses and horsemen and all these type of things. The Most High is going to save it with his word. So it says here, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they looked for. So they have no idea. They have literally no idea. You know when somebody says, I have no idea? Because they can't think of it. Like, they can't think of the possibility. You know? They can't think of it. But the Most High is going to set it up. Because he said in the book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 7. I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and I will save them by Yahweh their power, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. How is he going to do it then? The word. The strangeness of their salvation will be the chariots also. But the strangeness of our salvation was going to be with words. And then afterward, the chariots. And far beyond all that they have looked for. Because they be thinking like we gonna grab up arms and stuff like that. We gonna finna buy their bullets. How you gonna make war with the government, but you need their bullets? That's the dumbest thing on the planet Earth. You know, that's the dumbest thing that you can do concerning war. You're gonna go to your enemy to buy bullets from him, and then you know, and they know that both of y'all know that y'all enemies, but you're still gonna be like, hey, check this out, man. Ceasefire for a little bit right now, and let me buy all the bullets that you have. Give me like 50 million bullets or something like that, and then when I get the bullets, I'm gonna come back and fight you. That's exactly what you're gonna do, what you're gonna have to do if you're gonna fight Esau right now. So that's why we ain't got no weapons up on us. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no weapons like that, you know? But once that time comes, hey, I want to have a sword, and I want to go against the thing what people say. We'll bring a sword to a gunfight. That would be the most hilarious thing if you actually brought a sword to a gunfight, and then you still won. They got like bazookas and shit. Jacob descendants coming up with a sword, you know, of the Heavenly Father, and then you still beat them. That's funny. There's no weapon that's formed against thee shall prosper, right? So we're gonna prosper, right? So it says here, Isaiah chapter 19, verse 20. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt. For they shall cry unto Yahweh because of the oppressors, and he shall send them a Savior, and a great one, and he shall deliver them. And that Savior now is talking about the Comforter, which is the Scriptures, because these Scriptures comfort us. It makes you feel good about yourself. First and foremost, you're a Jacob descendant. Second, the payment is going to come for them. Third, you're going to get their spiritual power. Fourth, well, actually, third, your name is going to be written in the book of life. Fourth, for spiritual power. Fifth, you're going to go back to your own land, have your own stuff, have your own wife, have your own water, have your own food, have your own land and stuff like that. That's basically the life. And then you can sit back and eat and have your servants clean your nails, your toenails. Not talking about your hand nails. We're going to have Moab for that. Toenails, you know, from all the dirt that you have, you know, back in the days. Because I'm not talking about the effeminate cleaning your nails stuff. That's some other stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the one of, you know, you had Yahweh Shai, and then the woman came and washed his feet. Well, you had that back in the days going on often, because it shows you right here, for example, the older women above 60 were supposed to basically, when the men come in to sojourn or something like that, then they would take they would take water and then wash their feet. So it's not no. I think they call it pedicure or something like that. I think they call it that. Right, 1 Timothy 5 and 10. Well reported of for good works. If she brought, well, let me start at 9, I think. Let me see. Yeah, start at 9. This is what I'm talking about when I say like they're gonna clean our feet. They basically clean our nails. First Timothy chapter what? 5 verse 9. Let not the widow be taken into the number under 60 years old. That's 60. Having been the wife of one man. well reported for good works. If she have brought up children, if she have lost strangers. So basically, that strangers come and sojourn with her. If she have washed the saints' feet, if she have reviled the affliction, if she have diligently followed every good work. So you got the Jacob descendants, we did that, our women did that. And but now, once we have the heathen nations in captivity, you're going to do that. You're going to do that. Because we're going to be walking around upon, well, I like to walk, barefoot and stuff like that. For them fancy city slickers, you probably wouldn't understand that. But when you're in the land and stuff like that, you're going to want to walk with bare feet upon the planet. Why? Because it feels better than this concrete jungle. It hurts. So when you're in the other country and you walk upon the land, on the dirt, it's going to feel good. That's why people that live here, they go to vacations. Even the Edomites know that that thing feels good. They go to these other countries, and there you see them walking upon bare feet, on the grass, on the, going up in the mountains and whatever. That's their thing. But I'm just giving you an example. They know better. It's Jake that want to always walk around with his Nikes and his socks on. Anyway, Isaiah 19 and 21. And Yahweh shall, and Yahweh shall know to Egypt. And Yahweh shall be known to Egypt. And the Egyptians shall know Yahweh in that day, and shall do sacrifice of oblation. Well, that's the ancient Mizraim. They did do that. But the modern day Edomites, they're not going to do it. While they're being destroyed, they're going to curse and blaspheme the Most High even more. They're going to still want to talk to familiar spirits. They still want to go to witches and wizards, do sacrifice. Quick, let's slaughter a baby. These stuff, in order for us to get that advice from the councils of the entities. That's what they want to do. Right, so it says here, and they shall vow a vow unto Yahweh and perform it. So Esau is not going to make that vow, because Esau is going down. But the ancient Mizraim people, they actually did do that. They did make a vow, and they basically swore not to do the things again. And this is one of the many reasons that the Most High is still going to have mercy upon Mizraim in the end. They're going to get punished for all the things that they have done, yes, and that they're still doing until this day. But the Most High is going to make sure that after 1,000 years of captivity for the Mizraim, for all the heathens, by the way, they're going to go back to their land, have their own thing, have their own food and all that type of stuff, still paying tribute to the Jacob descendants, but in all fairness and righteousness, of course. And then Esau is going to be taken up out of here. Bye-bye. No more Edomites. And Yahweh shall smite Egypt, and he shall heal it. And they shall return to Yahweh, and he shall be entreated of them, and shall heal them. And he will fix them up. Just like how it says in the book of Jeremiah 48, is the last one. Jeremiah 48, because it might think that he's going to help them. He's gonna have mercy upon them. So Jeremiah 48, and let's start. Wait. 48 and let me see. Right, 48 and 45. So it says here, they that fled stood under the shadow of Heshbon because of the force. But a fire shall come forth out of Heshbon, and a flame from the midst of Sihon, which is Sihon is Egypt, the rivers of Egypt, and shall devour the corners of Moab, and the crown of the head of the tumultuous one. The tumultuous one are the sons of Sheth, mentioned in the book of Numbers chapter 24. When it says Moab and the sons of Sheth, that's the tumultuous ones of Moab, like the warrior, crazy type ones, like the lion-like men of Moab. Those are, because the armies of Moab over there in China, they have a very, very, very large military capacity, like numbers and stuff like that. There's mighty men among them. They might look weak and small and stuff like that, but They'll harm you, especially if you never had training before in your life, and you was sitting duck for them like sissy. You think living in the hood is tough, cause you got your weapon. That's why you bad. They are a weapon. People that be hitting that gym and doing them combo trainings and stuff like that. Those people are weapons. If you don't know, he's just a weapon walking around with his hands and stuff like that. Not even turning it into a fist yet. It's just a hand. That's already a weapon. You know. So that's the Moabites over there, the tumultuous ones. If you give those people a weapon, it's even harder. You know, it's like giving a warrior a sword. Like you basically handed him your head on a silver plate. Make it a golden plate at that. Right, so Jeremiah 48 and 46. Woe be unto thee, Moab, the people of Chemosh perisheth. Chemosh is their god that they worship. We are the people of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. For thy sons are taken captives, and thy daughters captives. Yet will I bring again the captivity of Moab in the latter days, saith Yahweh. Thus far is the judgment of Moab. So, and it says it again here for Ammon, Jeremiah 49 and 6. And afterward, I will bring again the captivity of the children of Ammon, saith Yahweh. So what does that mean? If you read it like that in the English and you with the modern day mindset, you would think like he's going to bring them back into captivity. No, he's going to turn back the captivity from them. So Moab is going to go into captivity as a whole, and Ammon is going to go into captivity as a whole. But the Most High is going to turn it around and set them free. That's not going to happen with Esau, right? So that's the same thing that's going to happen to how you call them again? Mizraim, like the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Mizraims, the Hamites. Same thing is going to happen to them also. The Most High is going to turn back the captivity that he is going to put on them. He already did it back then. History repeats itself. So in the near future, for 1,000 years they're going to be captives, and then after the 1,000 years they're going to be let free, and they're going to be allowed to go and do their own thing, grow their own crops, because they're going to grow our crops. By the way, yeah, they're going to dig our wells. By the way, just like how we did unto them, they're going to do unto us. For us, I should say. And yeah. Yep. Same thing with Elam. Same thing with Aram. Same thing with Ashur. They're all going to go into captivity for 1,000 years. And after that, they're going to be let loose free to do according to Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, which is mentioned in the book of Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. Anyway, so with that, I'm going to finish the rest at home. Y'all right this up. Because I'm going to show scriptures and stuff like that. Because I need the blue letter Bible in order for you to see, for me to show you. I could do it right here, but it's all good. It's all good. Y'all write this out. Finish the rest at home of Isaiah 19. So with that, I'm going to say all praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Adawah Kodash. Double honors unto the elder apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. And shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Shalom, shalom. Right.